Do you keep hearing the same arrangement advice? Drag a reference track into your project and add markers for intro, build, drop, breakdown. Then while you're writing your track, you stick to that exact structure. I used to recommend this tip in computer music and future music magazines, but after 2 decades of releases, radio plays, and hundreds of finished records, I now know why copying tracks is holding you back. So today I'm going to show you an infinitely more powerful method that will change the way you think about arranging electronic music. And I've broken the whole system down in a free PDF. You can download it at the link below. So here's why copying a track isn't the cheat code it's made out to be. It's like stabilizers on a bike. If you've never arranged a track before, these stop you falling over. But training wheels aren't meant to stay on forever, because when you copy someone else's structure, you shoehorn your sounds into a flow that was never designed for them. The track never feels fully yours. Here's the thing, arrangement is not some mysterious dark art. There's no secret handshake. If you've listened to any music ever, you already know that most tunes are built from 8 and 16 bar sections. I'll show you a black belt method of arranging later, but for now, let's keep it simple. Without referencing another track at all, let's arrange a tune using just our brains. Let's go for a 16 bar intro into an 8 bar build, into a 16 bar drop, and into 32 bars of more drop, into a 16 bar breakdown, then into 32 bars second drop and an 8 bar outro. So you can see how easy it is to sketch an arrangement off the top of your head, no reference track or stabilizers required. And if you're still learning or you find that difficult, grab the free PDF below because I've included some basic structures you can use as inspiration. But those are training wheels too. The goal is to internalize the patterns so you can invent your own. So planning a structure in your head is already better than copying because you've come up with it. But there's an even more powerful approach. So you know those dot-to-dot drawings you did as a kid? You join number 1 to number 2 to number 3 and eventually you've drawn Mickey Mouse. Except you didn't really draw Mickey Mouse, someone else did. That's what copying an arrangement is like. Now imagine you planned the dots yourself and then you draw Mickey Mouse. That's what we just looked at, making up your own structure. But imagine a third approach. You get your pen, you start drawing without any dots, and you respond to what appears. You adapt, react, and let your art evolve into something unexpected. What if arranging tracks could work like that? Well, it can. When I'm at the loop stage, I do something I call a stress test. I take the important sounds and I play around with them. I'll automate filters, change envelopes, sweep reverb, and push and pull the sound around. While I do this, I listen and I ask one question. Where do my sounds want to go? Does this synth want to slowly open up over time, or does it want fast switches and sharp changes? When I play with the controls, what kind of arrangement would suit this sound? What could the other sounds around it do to create different moments? And without sounding too hippie about it, I tune into that. I'm not burning incense or asking my kick drum what its star sign is, but I listen to what the sounds are suggesting instead of forcing them into a predefined structure, because the arrangement is already being hinted at by the behavior of the sounds. From there, I take what I learned during the stress test phase and then I quickly lay out the parts to explore these ideas over whatever duration suits the sounds. So I'm not forcing sound into a rigid structure. I let the track reveal its potential first, then I test those ideas. This is how tracks come together much faster because the sounds were already pointing in a certain direction. Here's an example. For my track The Fog, I started with this bass patch. And I remember sweeping this harmonic series oscillator. And how it changed the sound immediately told me that it needed to do this change every 8 bars. So I built the whole arrangement around these 8 bar switches. So to recap, while you're at the loop stage and ready to arrange, identify the sounds that matter and explore how they want to change. Play with controls and effects just enough to hear possibilities. Then once you've stress tested your sounds, use that information to make a quick structural decision, because a track structure shouldn't be predetermined or decided by markers. It should be discovered by listening to how your sounds want to evolve and grow. That's when finishing tracks feels effortless and fun, I've laid out this entire stress testing framework in a free PDF, how to explore your sounds, what to listen for, and some flexible ideas you can reference. I've put a link below. But all of this brings up a much bigger question. Once you've stress tested your sounds, how do you then arrange them naturally and organically? Well, that's exactly what I break down in this video, so go and watch that next.